Oh, life behind bars, eh? It's a bit overcast today, but it's still 28 degrees. Let's go inside because I want to have a chat. What I want you to do is hit the like button because it helps the algorithm, it helps me. Hit the subscribe button, share the video, do whatever you want. As you know, I live in Thailand. People come over here and they think, oh, I don't like it over there because you have to do this, you have to do that, and I don't care about it. It is what it is. You either accept it or you don't. If you don't, you don't live here. I'm just an average man who can see things are not going right. I don't delve into politics. I don't look at politics. I don't care about the UK news. I don't care about what's really happening over there, but I do care about the people there. Now, I said 2 years ago in a video that the only way the UK would survive is rejoining the EU. And people said to me, oh, you're insane, that'll never happen, what's wrong with you, you're incompetent and uneducated and stuff like that. And I was called that in the comments. The UK government have actually gone behind people's backs and they've said, they've gone directly to the companies in the EU and they've said, we won't charge you import duty if you send stuff to the UK. Well, thereby, you're no longer in the EU because of Brexit. But the government are still doing business with many companies, mainly large corporations, and they're charging people import duty. And they're not even getting import duty because it's all free. Mr. VAT payer is paying more for things that are made in the EU, even though they're not paying import duty on them. So that's number one. That's happened. I said it would happen. I didn't think that they would go against Brexit because it was a majority sort of democracy vote, but I knew they'd do it somehow, some way. 3 years ago, I was suffering with situational depression, and I'm going to do another video on that so as you can recognise it and act on it, because it's a very good thing, believe it or not. So I was suffering with situational depression and I was having anxiety attacks, and I thought, I've got to get out. I've got to get out of the UK because something bad is going to happen. And I also said 2 years ago in a video when I came over here that something bad is going to happen. And everyone, well, not everyone, the majority of people said, yeah, we know, but we don't know what. In the back of my mind, I always had a thought that it was something to control the UK population in some way. Now, I'm one of these people who don't believe that COVID ever happened because there were cases being reported that just shouldn't have been. Well, I think the majority of cases were reported as something that it didn't need to be. Did you notice the flu death rates went down massively during COVID? But anyway. I knew that they wanted to control the population, and I always thought that COVID was a test to see if they could keep people in the houses, to see what would happen, how much people rebelled and everything else. But anyway, that will never be proven properly. It partly has, but not fully. So then I thought, well, if that was a test, so how are they going to control the population? And I knew something bad was going to happen to the UK, but I didn't know what. So you've now got digital ID. Now, I think digital ID will become mandatory if you want to live. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay an inflated price for everything else, for everything that you buy. So they'll have it like a club card at Tesco's. If you haven't got a digital ID, then you have to pay extra. That sort of thing. Now with digital ID, they can literally limit the amount of sugary drinks that you buy. They can limit the amount of food that you have. They can limit the amount of fuel that you buy, thereby restricting travel. They can restrict the amount of flights that you have. They can restrict the places that you go. They can look at eBay sales. They can look at like your Etsy or whatever it is. See the things that you've sold on there. They can use AI to link it all together. And if you haven't paid tax on it, they will take it from your bank account. Undocumented payments into your bank account, they can take that as well. They can take VAT from it, and then you have to claim it back at the end of the financial year. Now, digital ID is the most dangerous thing for the UK population to ever hit it. Mark my words, it's coming. My prediction for the budget, now bear in mind that I'm not a financial expert. I'm putting my neck on the line here. But I figured out that the only way that they can get money, this is 2 years ago, the only way they could get money is by hitting the UK population with VAT. No, not VAT. Well, it is, yes, it is directly VAT, but they will have to tax the UK population, and that's exactly what they've done, thereby making everybody poorer. So when they've squeezed as much as they possibly can without causing civil uprising, they would then have to go for the businesses. Now, I think this is my prediction for the budget. The first thing that I'll do is lower the VAT threshold. So Mr. Average builder, or odd job sort of builder who's doing things, who's currently below the VAT threshold, if they lower it, he will have to pay VAT. And if he has to pay VAT at 20%, I think it is, I don't know, I think it's 20%. But he'll have to pay VAT on everything, basically. And that will increase either one or two things, and it's more likely the second of the two. Number one, he'll have to raise his prices by 20%. Or number two, it'll put him out of business. So the end user will have to absorb that 20% increase, otherwise the man will go out of business, and it is more likely it'll go out of business. So you've got your hairdressers, you've got your barbers, apart from the Turkish ones, which seem to be thriving for some reason. That's another story. Your hairdressers, your barbers, your builders, your Mr. Odd Job man, anybody who runs a home business, somebody on the street, sort of, lives in their apartment, and they'll all have to pay 20% more. I mean, the government can actually scrap the VAT threshold, so everybody has to pay it. If you sell something, you have to pay it. Sell a service or anything, you have to pay it. In combination with digital ID, you can't escape it. You cannot escape a penny. Even down to if you get something from China, or you buy something from China and it doesn't get through the tax threshold, they can take it out of your bank account. And then at the end of the year, you can claim it back as a false claim. But they will take it out of your account. Whether you've got money in there or not, it'll make you overdrawn, blah, 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 that sort of thing. So it's dangerous. Now also, 3 years ago, when I had this sort of an itch that I've got to get out of the UK, and things were getting really, really bad in my own head, I was thinking about renting my flat. People were saying, don't sell it, don't sell it, don't sell it, rent it. Now, I think that the government are going to do some form of thing for people who own homes who rent them out. And I reckon that there's going to be some payment somewhere this year or in the next 12 months that's going to come to people who rent the property. Now, I know a lot of people who've come over here who said, oh, I'm renting so it gives me an income. Well, that's not a very, very good, but it's not an investment. It's going to become such a burden on your life that you'll have to sell it. And obviously, if you're living over here, you've got to go back to the UK to sell it, or unless you've got an agent that actually can do that they'll now have to pay 20% more because they're. I was thinking about renting, but I had a horrible, horrible situational depression thought about it, that something was going to happen. And I think it's happening. I think it's going to happen this year. But they were the only things that I thought about because they directly involved me. I didn't think about anything else, any other financial things. And since I've been over here, I haven't worried about money. I don't give a shit about money. I know I could live on virtually nothing. You know, it's costing me. I'll do a breakdown of how much it costs me to live here. But I think everyone will be very, very, very surprised, or I'm going to get the people who say there's no place on the face of the earth that's going to be rented for that much and there's no way you're going to live like that for that much. Well, it's true and I can prove it. My prediction for the UK is coming. Part of it has already become true, and I think in the next few years the killer of the system is the digital ID. How many millions of people objected to it, and what did the government do? They said tough. So there is no fighting the system, and I've proven that. I said that 2 years ago. There is no fighting the system, and everyone said, oh, you should have stayed in the UK and you should have fought for what you believe in. There is no fighting the system, and that's proven. So I was right on that one as well, unfortunately. But I think I might start thinking about other things, but the only trouble is they don't affect me, so I don't get situational depression anymore. I haven't had it since I got over here. All I've got here is a vision of the future, and I've got no worries. I don't care about anything anymore. My family over here mean everything to me now, because I've gone above the tourist sort of level and I've gone into the culture, and I've got deeper and deeper and deeper, and the deeper you go, the more you can appreciate how life is over here, and the more you can understand it, and the more you can see the logic behind it. If you just skim across and you're just a tourist, you'll never understand it. And now I've got the utmost respect for every Thai person here. Delve into the culture, get beneath anything that normal people would never see. And when you understand it, when you want to understand it, then it all becomes clear why it happens. The people who are living on that island called England or the UK, they're not free. You never will be free. And you're about to be restricted a lot worse than you can ever imagine.